Hey YouTubers, Rob here with another C64 game. This time, if you don't recognise the little logo, you'll see why not. And we're looking at Super Bread Box, which is the C64 conversion, authorised, of the classic indie PC game Super Crate Box. If you've not played it, it's actually a really fun game to check out. You can download the original PC version for free. The original C64 version was actually written for the RGCD 16K game compo last year. The original download, it's a smaller version of the game. It won that pretty heavily, and they basically went to work on an enhanced version that is pretty much the complete game with some extra features. So let's just dive in. So the way this works is it's actually been released on cartridge. If you have a real C64, you can go to the RGCD website and buy it on cartridge. It's £30, or you can also buy it as a digital download, which is what I've done in this case. I would like to buy the cartridge, but it's a bit of a. I'd like to buy the real cartridge, but it's a bit of a bit too much of an expense at the moment. The game itself, while it's on cartridge, if you have a disk drive handy, you can actually save the game state to disk. Which is actually a rather unique solution to managing it. But now you're up, we'll just dive in and have a quick play. I've been playing a fair bit, and it's a really good conversion. So if you've never played the original Super Crate Box, the basic idea is it's a single-screen platformer game where you jump around, collect crates. Collecting crates gives you new weapons, and you have to get used to how all the weapons behave. You don't know what weapon will be there, and in fact, you don't know what weapon is going to be picked up, and you need to learn how to use them all to survive. So let's jump in on. So this is the first stage. The C64 version actually adds 3 new levels. So this is the first of the C64 specific stages. So as you can see, graphics are really clear, and this one. I can't remember I have to check, but I can't remember what song you're hearing now is part of the new soundtrack, part of the added soundtrack, and I just can't remember what C64 game it's covering, because it's definitely from a C64, it's not part of the original Super Crate Box music. So the idea is, I need to get that crate on the top platform, which I've got. As you can see, the only real bit of slowdown is with some of the more explosive weapons. So I've died. And again, it's really solid conversion where I just hit the button and I'm back in. So I've now unlocked the next stage, and I've also unlocked a new weapon as well, the laser rifle. One of the things I really like is you don't know what you're going to get until you pick it up. So you have to learn all the weapons, even the ones you don't really like. For example, this minigun, it's nice and powerful, but it has crazy recoil. So you have to be able to manage, like, don't recoil into enemies while you're collecting everything else. The mines, you need to and the graphics are excellent, like renditions of the original game graphics, and so you can see the levels which are the original 64 ones sort of fit more into how the C64 looks, so they're a little clearer. I will switch to one of the other levels and give you a quick peek at how the game looks. The UI is a little weird. You have to hit down on the joystick to go back. So now, let's jump to the rocket silo. And you can see that, and they've sort of emulated the nature of the higher color capability of the original PC game, where with the divot backgrounds. So controls are incredibly simple. You just have a single joystick in port 2, just up, down, left, right, basically. Fire to shoot, up to jump. Which is pretty much as simple as it was on the PC. We just used the arrows, space, or arrows X and Z. There's no two-player mode, it's pretty much only a single-player experience, but I think it's a small Twitch game. That's not really a problem. I believe there was an enhanced PC version, I believe, back in the day, that did actually give you 2 players. But this is pretty much just straightforward single-player, dodge, get crates. And what I love about this, what I've always loved about Super Crate Box, and by association Super Bread Box, is the whole pressure. You can't, randomly just taking out enemies doesn't mean anything. If you can't get to a crate, you're not going to progress. So you might be in a position where you can slash enemies all you want, but if you're not actually clearing to a crate, there's not much room to do it. And this conversion is done excellently. I mean, you're looking at some. Let's change stages. Let's look at. I think these stages do look a lot better, just because they're not going over the top of the background images, but... Oh, made it! I love how close it can be in cases like that. So you can sort of see there's a nice variety of weapons. You've got basic equivalent of handguns, you've got explosive weapons like the grenade launcher, mines, you've got the ever so dangerous disc gun. Although the C64 version doesn't have the little warning message when you first unlock it, unfortunately, which I always liked. It's like, we warned you. But the rest of the game is all implemented in full, and it's rather excellent conversion. I mean, if you're on the fence, you can actually grab the PC game for it, and the original competition, the 16K contest version of the game is also free. That only gives you the construction yard. I believe you don't get all the weapons. It's not as optimized, things like that. But even then, you can see it's still a great conversion. And if you're into actually playing C64 stuff, playing on an emulator, I think it's well worth spending the £2. I will link to the RGCD store down below, where you can check it out. And if you're lucky, you can justify buying the real cartridge. Do so. I think it sounds like it's a really cool little package in there. So that's Super Bread Box. This is a really excellent conversion, really detailed, and takes great advantage of what the C64 can do, and takes a classic indie game, squeezes it onto the hardware, and comes out excellent. One I really do recommend you check out. Thanks for watching. I look forward to bringing you another game soon.